Call the meeting to order at this time. Mr. Stoltz, if you would, please call the roll.
Mayor Earl Gray.
Here.
Jim Childs, Councilman.
Here.
Craig Crawford, Councilman.
Here.
Derek Rogers, Councilman.
Here.
Rhonda James, Council Lady.
Here.
Paul Stinney, Council Lady.
Here.
I'm here.
Thank you, Mr. Stoltz. We do have a quorum for tonight. Mr. Rogers, if you would, please do the invocation, and Mr. Crawford, lead us in the pledge, please.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for all you've done for us. Thank you for this city. Thank you for this country, Lord. Give us wisdom as we conduct the business of the people of the city. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Members of council have had an opportunity to review the minutes from our September the 27th meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. James, second by Mr. Childs. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Next item on the agenda is appearances. Michelle Sledge. Come on up, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle Sledge, and this is my dear friend Jenny Burrs, and we are here representing the Chickamauga Battlefield Marathon, Half Marathon, Junior Marathon, and Fort Oglethorpe 5K. Yeah. And so Jenny's going to tell you a little bit of information. I'm going to hand you out.
Thank you. Thank you. We are so appreciative of the support of the city of Fort Oglethorpe for this event. We're with the Chattanooga Track Club, and the Chattanooga Track Club has been putting this race on in your community for 41 years, and this will be our 41st running. And just in thinking about talking to you all, because it's been several years since I've spoken to you all, I took a little time off from being the race director, co-race directing with Michelle this year, that the Chattanooga Track Club has been active in your community for over 50 years. The founders of our track club started their running right here in Fort Oglethorpe, and on those runs, that's when they decided to form the organization that is now over 50 years old. So thank you, Mayor, thank you, Council, for supporting this event for over 41 years. Our members enjoy coming to this community and running in this community, and we enjoy bringing people from across the country to this community for this race. We also want to say a special thank you to a couple community leaders who are so instrumental in making sure that we have the support that we need for this race. Paula Stinnett, who's been involved in this race as long as I have and has been instrumental in helping us add the 5K, which we did several years ago, and incorporating Honor Park into that piece of the race, which has helped us to expand the people that come here. And also Chris McKeever, who I know is normally here, and the 6th Cavalry Museum and the Fort Oglethorpe Tourism Association. We could not do it without community partners like that, making sure that we're providing a quality experience for the folks that come here. And then last but not least, Molly Hune and Rick Quarles, who helped connect us to the city services, the fire department, the police department, recreation and public works, who again take pride in putting on this race along with us. So thank you all very much for all of your support.
So right in front of you that was just handed out is some statistics from 2019. As most of you are aware, we were not able to have a majority of our race in 2020. But we just wanted you to know specifics about the participants and the racers and what we specifically bring to the community, and appreciate you all so much. We do plan on, once the race is finished this year, coming back in January 2021 and giving you those statistics of this information as well, to have just an updated summary of everything. But we do again, we're so appreciative to our supporters and the organizations that help us with this. The City of Fort Oglethorpe, the tourism, as Jenny says, CERT, CHI Memorial, Food City, Walmart. There's so many people in this specific community that have, just helped us with the race and that continue to make this happen. We continue to grow. We've actually partnered this year with Knights of Columbus and St. Gerard, and we're, continue to bring things into Fort Oglethorpe specifically, with the marathon and the half marathon. We do have people that are coming that we're pointing them to local hotels and to, eat locally. And, we're trying to bring them in as much as we can into Fort Oglethorpe. And actually I had a conversation last Saturday with Chris McKeever about how we can expand a little bit further into hotels and have further conversations starting in January, getting ready for next year's race. So we're just so thankful for your help and your partnership, and we just really, truly appreciate this community so much.
Thank you. Do y'all
Any
have
questions?
of us?
What's the date on this?
November the 13th. You want to come out? You can come. You can help. You can just be there and see it all happen.
I have a Bill and Godfrey up in below.
Man.
But people ask. That's the reason I need to.
Yeah, November 13th. As you'll see on the report, there's people that come from over 37, 38 states to this race every year, and you have the statistics of what states they come from. And again, we could not put this race on without the city support every year. I think it just takes the community support in order to make this place shine. And we hope that people come back and do the race again, and they come back for other reasons to take advantage of the park and other things, beautiful things that y'all are doing in this community to grow it. So thank you.
That's amazing. It's almost 50-50 male, female.
Yes. Yes.
That's shocking.
Somebody came from Hawaii?
Yeah.
One.
Well, there's an organization called 50 States, and so people they run a marathon or half marathon in every state. So
Okay.
My guess is that person came from Hawaii to run
To get Georgia knocked
and
out.
maybe they were in the service. We have a lot of service members that come, or former service people that come and run the race because it's in the battlefield.
That's
We've
awesome.
had people come from other countries in
Yeah.
past years.
Yeah, we have somebody come in from Guam this year. So yes, absolutely, they come from everywhere. And we do support, as Jenny was saying, was group runs. So actually this past Saturday we had a group run in the battlefield itself from the track club. So we are promoting people coming to this area months in advance prior to just one, the race weekend.
Well, just so you guys know, you're saying thank you to us, but our staff has said that you guys make it easy to help out in this event, that you guys would do so. This is such a well-oiled machine, so it's a pleasure to work with you guys too.
Oh, thank you so much.
We really appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Thank you again for the opportunity to talk to you today.
Thanks,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is resolutions. Resolution number 2021-07, GMA reinstatement of City of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia Municipal Association's 401A defined contribution plan. Mr. Stokes.
Y'all sit back and relax. Resolution 2021-07, a resolution of the City of Fort Oglethorpe Mayor and Council in restatement of the City of Fort Oglethorpe's Georgia Municipal Association 401A defined contribution plan. Whereas the City of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, hereinafter referred to as participating employer, has determined that it is in the best interest of attracting and retraining qualified employees, it wishes to offer a defined contribution plan funded by the employer contributions. Whereas the participating employer has also determined that it wishes to encourage employees' savings for retirement by offering matching contributions. Whereas the participating employer has reviewed the Georgia Municipal Association GMA defined contribution plan as amended and restated effective as of January 1st, 2017 plan. Whereas the participating employer wishes to continue participating in the plan to provide certain benefits to its employees, reduce overall administrative costs, and afford attractive investment opportunities. Whereas The participating employer is an employer as defined in the plan, whereas the participating employer has executed an adoption agreement and, if applicable, an addendum for the plan, whereas the mayor and council of the city of Fort Oakthorpe governing authority is authorized by law to adopt this resolution approving the adoption amendment agreement and, if applicable, amendment on behalf of the participating employer. Therefore, the governing authority of the participating employer hereby resolves: Section 1, that the participating employer adopts the plan and the trust agreement for the plan for its employees. Section 2, the participating employer acknowledges that the Board of Trustees of the GMA Defined Contribution and Deferred Compensation Plan trustees are only responsible for the plan and have no responsibility for other employee benefit plans maintained by the participating employer. Section 3, the participating employer hereby adopts the terms of the adoption agreement and any amendment which is attached hereto and made a part of this resolution. The adoption agreement and, if applicable, amendment sets forth the employees to be covered by the plan, the benefits to be provided by the participating employer under the plan, and any conditions imposed by the participating employee with respect to but not inconsistent with the plan. The participating employer reserves the right to amend its election under the adoption agreement and any amendment so long as the amendment is not inconsistent with the plan or the Internal Revenue Code or other applicable law as approved by the trustees of the plan. The GMA 401A DC plan, City of Fort Oakthorpe participating employer acknowledges that it is solely responsible for submitting the employer contributions in accordance with the terms of this adoption agreement, including submitting said employer contributions as scheduled based upon its payroll period for the end of the plan year as applicable. Section B, the participating employer acknowledges that it may not be able to rely on the opinion letter if it makes certain elections under the adoption agreement or the addendum, and that the failure to properly complete the adoption agreement may result in a failure of the participating employer's plan to be a qualified plan. Section 4, the participating employer hereby authorizes Georgia Municipal Association to the provider who sponsors the plan on behalf of the trustees to amend the plan on its behalf as provided under Revenue Procedures 2017-41, 2011-49, and 2007-44. The participating employer understands that implementing amendment reads as follows: GMA will maintain a record of the participating employers, and GMA will make reasonable and diligent efforts to ensure that the participating employers have actually received and are aware of all plan amendments, and that such participating employers adopt new documents when necessary. The provisions of this subsection shall supersede other provisions of the plan to the extent these other provisions are inconsistent. The trustees or GMA, as directed by the trustees, hereby reserves the right to terminate the plan without consent of the participating employers or participants, and likewise to amend the plan without consent of the participating employees or participants to make desired changes to the design of the plan. A true copy of the resolution of the trustees approving such amendment shall be delivered to the administrator and participating employers. The plan shall be amended in the manner and effective as of the date set forth in such resolution, and the participating employers, employees, participants, beneficiaries, the administrator, and all others having interest under the plan shall be bound thereby. On or after February 17, 2005, GMA shall have the authority to advise and prepare amendments to the plan for approval by the trustees on behalf of all participating employers, including those participating employers who have adopted the plan prior to January 1, 2018. Restatement of the plan for changes in the code, the regulations thereunder, revenue rulings, other statements published by the Internal Revenue Service, including model, sample, or other required good faith amendments, but only if their adoption will not cause such plan to be individually designed. And for the correction of prior approved plans, these amendments shall be applied to all participating employers. Any amendment prepared by the provider and approved by the trustees will be provided by the administrator to participating employers, notwithstanding the foregoing paragraphs. Effective on or after June 27, 2016, any participating employer as of either the date of the Internal Revenue Service requires the participating employer to file Form 5300 as individually designed plan as a result of an amendment by the participating employer to incorporate a type of plan not allowed in a pre-approved plan as described in Revenue Procedure 2017-41R, as of the date of the plan is otherwise considered an individually designed plan due to the nature and extent of the amendments. Such participating employer shall execute a resolution to adopt the amendments that are approved by the trustees after the date under subparagraph 1 and 2 above, as applicable within the earlier of 90 days after the trustees' approval, or 2, if applicable, the remedial amendment period under Code Section 41B, as applicable to governmental plans. If the participating employer is required to obtain a determination letter for any reason in order to maintain reliance on the opinion letter, GMA's authority to amend the plan on behalf of the participating employer is conditioned on the plan receiving a favorable determination letter. The participating employer further understands that if it does not give its authorization hereunder or in the alternative to adopt another pre-approved plan, its plan will become an individually designed plan and will not be able to rely on the pre-approved plan opinion letter. Section 5. The participating employer shall abide by the terms of the plan and the trust, including the amendments to the plan made under Section 4 and to the trust made by the trustees of the plan, all investment, administrative, and other service agreements of the plan and the trust, and all applicable provisions of the Internal Revenue Code and other applicable law. The participating employer accepts the administrative services to be provided by GMA and any services provided by a service manager as delegated by the trustees. The participating employer acknowledges that fees will be imposed with respect to the services provided, and such fees may be deducted from the participants' accounts. Section 6. A. The participating employer may terminate its participation in the plan, including but not limited to its contribution requirements, if it takes the following actions. 1. A resolution may be adopted terminating its participation in the plan. 2. The resolution must specify when the participation will end. The trustees shall determine whether the resolution complies with the plan, and all applicable federal and state laws shall determine an appropriate effective date and shall provide appropriate forms to terminate ongoing participation. However, distributions on the plan of existing accounts to participants will be made in accordance with the plan. B. The participating employer acknowledges the plan contains provisions for involuntary plan termination. Section 7. The participating employer acknowledges that all assets held in connection with the plan, including all contributions to the plan, all property rights acquired or purchased with such amounts, and all income attributable to such amounts, property or rights, shall be held in trust for the exclusive benefit of the participants and their beneficiaries under the plan. No part of the assets and income of the plan shall be used for or diverted to purposes other than exclusive benefit of the participants and their beneficiaries and for defraying reasonable costs of the plan. All amounts of the compensation deferred pursuant to the plan, all property rights acquired or purchased with such amounts, and all income attributable to such amounts, property or rights held as a part of the plan, shall be transferred to the trustees to be held, managed, invested, distributed as a part of the trust fund in accordance with the provisions of the plan. All contributions of the plan must be transferred by the participating employer to the trust fund. All benefits under the plan shall be distributed solely from the trust fund pursuant to the plan. Section 8. This resolution and the adoption agreement and any addendum shall be submitted to the trustees for their approval. The trustees shall determine whether the resolution complies with the plan, and if it does, shall provide appropriate forms to the participating employer to implement the participation plan. The trustees may refuse to approve an adoption agreement and any amendment by an employer that does not have legal authority to participate in the plan. The governing authority hereby acknowledges that it is responsible to assure that this resolution and the adoption agreement and any amendment are adopted and executed in accordance with the requirements of applicable state law. Section 9. As provided in Revenue Procedure 2017-41, the participating employer may rely on the plan's opinion letter provided that the participating employer's plan is identical to the GMA plan and the participating employer has not amended or made any modifications to the plan other than those than to choose the options permitted under the plan, and the adoption agreement passed, adopted, signed, and approved effective this 19th day of October 2021. Mayor and Council, City of Fort Oakthorpe. Basically, this brings our plan into compliance with Internal Revenue Code. That's what it does.
No wonder it took so long for it.
No.
Have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Second, sir.
Motion by Mr. Crawford, second by Ms. Stinnett. Any discussion? Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. James?
Yes.
Ms. Stinnett?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimous. You need a minute, Robert?
No, sir. We might as well. We're going to be till midnight anyway, so.
Next item on the agenda is ordinances. Item number 1 under ordinances is the first reading of ordinance number 2021-16, an ordinance to approve the 2022 fiscal year budget. Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2021-16, ordinance to approve the 2022 fiscal year budget for the City of Fort Oakthorpe. An ordinance to approve the City of Fort Oakthorpe 2022 fiscal year budget to provide provisions therein as authorized by state law, to provide for severability, to repeal conflicting ordinances or parts thereof, to provide for an adoption effective date, and for all other purposes allowed by law. Whereas the duly elected governing authority of the City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia, is authorized under Article 9, Section 2, Paragraph 3 of the Constitution of the State of Georgia, the Official Code of Georgia annotated 3635-3, and the Charter of the City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia, to adopt reasonable ordinances to protect and improve the public health, safety, welfare, and aesthetics of the citizens of the City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia. And whereas the duly elected governing authority of the City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia, is vested in the City Council composed of a mayor and 5 council members, and whereas that all other ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby repealed, and whereas that if any part of this ordinance shall be held invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect and impair other parts of this ordinance, unless it clearly appears that such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Now, therefore, it is hereby ordained by the governing authority of the City of Fort Oakthorpe that the following constitutes the fiscal year 2022 budget for the City of Fort Oakthorpe. This ordinance shall take effect on the first day of January 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Item number 2 under ordinances is the first reading, ordinance number 2021-17, personnel policy. Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2021-17, repeal and replacement of personnel ordinance number 2004-09 and amendments thereto. An ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances, City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia, employee personnel policies to provide for replacement of the employee personnel policy and amendments thereto, to provide for the provisions therein as authorized by state law, to provide for modification, to provide for severability, to repeal conflicting ordinances or parts thereof, to provide for an adoption effective date, and all other purposes allowed by law. Whereas the duly elected governing authority of the City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia, is authorized under Article 9, Section 2, Paragraph 3 of the Constitution of the State of Georgia, the Official Code of Georgia annotated 36-353, and the Charter of the City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia, to adopt reasonable ordinances to protect and improve the public health, safety, welfare, and aesthetics of the citizens of the City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia. And whereas the duly elected governing authority of the City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia, is vested in the City Council composed of a mayor and 5 council members, and whereas the City of Fort Oakthorpe, by and through its mayor and council, support the goals and achievements of the city employees through these personnel policies that promote a safe work environment, exemplify fair treatment, open communication, personal responsibility, trust, and shared respect. Now, therefore, the Employee Personnel Policy 2004-09 and subsequent amendments thereto are hereby repealed in their entirety and replaced with the Fort Oakthorpe Employee Handbook attached hereto as Exhibit A. Section 1, if any part of this ordinance shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect on the first day of December 2021. First reading, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Stoltz. Item number 3 under ordinances is the first reading of ordinance number 2021-18, an ordinance to amend the City of Fort Oglethorpe Code of Ordinance, Article 3, gross premium tax on insurers, Section 82-71 through Section 82-77, and to add in Section 82-78. Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2021-18, an ordinance to amend the City of Fort Oakthorpe Code of Ordinances, Article 3, gross premium tax on the insurers, Section 82-71 through Section 82-77, and adding Section 82-78. An ordinance to repeal and replace the City of Fort Oakthorpe Code of Ordinances, Article 3, gross premium tax on insurers, Section 82-71 through 82-77, to provide for provisions therein as authorized by state law, to provide for severability, to repeal conflicting ordinances or parts thereof, to provide for an adoption effective date, and for all other purposes allowed by law. Whereas the duly elected governing authority of the City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia, is authorized under Article 9, Section 2, Paragraph 3 of the Constitution of the State of Georgia, the Fiscal Code of Georgia annotated 3635-3, and the Charter of the City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia, to adopt reasonable ordinances to protect and improve the public health, safety, welfare, and aesthetics of the citizens of the City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia, and whereas the duly elected governing authority of the City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia, is vested in the City Council, composed of a mayor and 5 council members, and whereas that all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are repealed, and whereas that if any part of this ordinance shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Now therefore it is hereby ordained by the governing authority of the City of Fort Oakthorpe that the following Article 3, Section 82-71 through 82-77 is repealed and replaced with Article 3, Section 82-71 through Section 82-77, and adding Section 82-78 as follows. The old provisions of this ordinance are contained in the ordinance. The new provisions are as follows. 8271 definitions. The following words and phrases, when used in this article, shall have the meanings ascribed to them in this section, except where the content clearly indicates a different meaning. Gross direct premiums means the same as defined by OCGA Section 33-84. Section 8272, insurers license fees. There is hereby levied for the year 2022 and for each year thereafter an annual license fee upon each insurer doing business within the City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia, in the amount of $75. For each separate business location in excess of one not covered by Section 2, which is operating on behalf of such insurers within the City of Fort Oakthorpe, Georgia, there is levied a license fee in the amount of $75. For the purposes of this ordinance, the term insurer means a company which is authorized to transact business in any of the classes of insurance designated under OCGA 3335. Section 8273, license fees for insurers insuring certain risk at additional business locations. For each separate business location not otherwise subject to a license fee hereunder, operated and maintained by a business organization which is engaged in the business of lending money or transacting sales involving term financing, and in connection with such loans or sales offers, solicits, or takes application for insurance through a licensed agent of an insurer or insurance, said insurer shall pay an additional license fee of $26.25 per location for the year 2022 and each year thereafter. Section 8274, gross premium tax insured on life insurers. There is hereby levied for the year 2022 and for each year thereafter an annual tax based solely on gross direct premiums upon such insurers writing life, accident, and sickness insurance within the state of Georgia in an amount equal to 1% of the gross direct premiums received during the preceding calendar year in accordance with OCGA Section 3388.1. Gross direct premiums as used in this section shall mean gross direct premiums as used in OCGA Section 3384. The premium tax levied on this section is in addition to the license fee imposed in Section 1 of this ordinance. Section 8275, gross premium tax, all other insurers. There is hereby levied for the year 2022 and for each year thereafter an annual tax based solely on the gross direct premiums upon each insurer other than insurer transacting business in the class of insurance designated under subsection 1 of OCGA Section 3335, doing business within the state of Georgia in an amount equal to 2.5% of the gross direct premiums received during the preceding calendar year in accordance with 3388.2. Gross direct premiums as used in this section shall mean gross direct premiums as used in OCGA Section 3384. The premium tax levied by the section is in addition to the license fees imposed by Section 1 of this ordinance. Section 8276, due date for license fees. License fees imposed in Section 1 and 2 of this ordinance shall be due and payable on the first day of 2022 and on the first date of each subsequent year. Section 8277, administrative provision. The city clerk is hereby directed to forward a duly certified copy of this ordinance to the insurance commissioner of the state of Georgia within 45 days of its enactment. Section 8278. This ordinance shall become effective January 1st, 2022. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Next item on the agenda is new business. Item number 1 under new business, honoring those who serve parade and festival. Chief Haymans.
There ain't no way I'm gonna try to keep up with him. I can't listen.
I can't say that I blame you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the council, I'm Jerry Haymans. As the chairman of the Fort Oglethorpe Veterans and Citizens Council, I would like to personally invite the city of Fort Oglethorpe to participate in the upcoming Honoring Those Who Serve Parade and Festival. This invitation is reasonable and that it will not cost the citizens of Fort Oglethorpe for the city's participation other than the normal standard parade cost. We hope the city finds this event so successful that the council unanimously votes to make Honoring Those Who Serve their signature event for many years to come. It is the belief of the VCC that Fort Oglethorpe is the perfect host for an event honoring the rich heritage which founded this area. The VCC is honored to bring an event of this magnitude to the city and hopes to engage in the partnership that will provide honorability for both parties.
Thank you, Chief Haymans.
Thank you.
I have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Rogers, second by Mr. Crawford. Any discussion?
Can you tell us a little bit about, I've seen on Facebook a couple of things, some of the things that are coming, like the flyover and all that stuff. I think the folks would be happy to hear about that.
I'm sorry. Sure. Okay, we're going to have the vintage aircraft from Cleveland. They're going to be flying down. They're supposed to be coming in. They're going to drop down there at 2A at 750 feet. That's as low as the powers to be will allow them to fly. So they're going to fly up 27, break off there at Barnhart Circle, and that's going to kick the parade off.
That's awesome. What kind of airplane is that?
There's two airplanes. It is said they was coming. I can't tell you what they
Okay.
are because I've not been informed on that, but they're looking at trying to get some more to come in too.
Cool. Yeah, sounds awesome. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 2, under new business, proposed approval of payment to the Catoosa County Tax Commissioner for 2021 tax collection services. Ms. Trevilian.
Okay, I would like to request approval to pay the Catoosa County Tax Commissioner $14,689.50 for the collection of the city's 2021 property tax. On September 24th, they mailed out 4,197 real and personal property tax bills at a rate of $3.50 per parcel.
Thank you, Mr. Trevilian. I have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Childs, second by Mr. Crawford. Any discussion?
I gotta ask the question.
All right, sir.
It said 8,200 goes to the tax commissioner. What does that mean?
The
6,200 goes to the county and 8,200 goes to the tax commissioner. Is that personal money for him?
No, it's to the office. It's,
Okay, just curious.
Cowboy.
Well, I saw it, I just had to ask.
Never know till you ask.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 3, under new business, proposed approval to procure computer voice stress analyzer system, computer, and training for the Fort Oglethorpe Police Department. Chief Thorpe.
Mr. Mayor, Council, I appear before you tonight to recommend approval to procure the computer voice stress analyzer system, computer, and training from NITV Federal Services, LLC, in the amount of $8,490. The Fort Oglethorpe Police Department currently pays up to $300 per polygraph during the hiring process for our interviewees that we're interviewing for the process. And several of those don't make it through that process. It's a very costly venture. The scheduling of that test takes up to 2 weeks or longer and is very frustrating for the applicants as well. The computer voice stress analyzer system is the latest in truth verification technology and similar to a polygraph because it identifies small changes in the tone of voice, not audible to the human ear, when a subject is being deceptive. It's widely used for background and criminal investigations by about 2,500 departments across the nation, including the California Highway Patrol, Atlanta PD, and Nashville Police Department as well. NITV Federal Services is the sole provider of this software and equipment and is the exclusive manufacturer and distributor. The computer voice stress analyzer system uses a unique specialized process protected by 2 U.S. patents. If approved, this purchase includes the system software, a specialized computer, and training, all of which will offer fast, reliable, and a cost-effective way of doing background checks as well as criminal investigations here in the city. I'd recommend approval.
Thank you, Mr. Sewell. Have a motion to approve.
So moved, sir.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Stinnett, second by Mr. Childs. Any discussion?
We will have someone here in-house who can operate this, and this test will serve as authentication for any new potential employees.
Correct. We'll have 3 individuals that will be provided testing under this amount here. One that will be trained in November, so we'll be able to utilize this equipment before year's end.
Awesome.
This equipment, unlike the polygraph, somebody has to have a bachelor's degree to be able to give a polygraph test. This does not require that like the polygraph does. It does not require the bachelor's degree. So we'll be able to do this in-house.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 4 under new business, proposed approval to procure Power DMS document management system for the Fort Oglethorpe Police Department. Chief Sewell.
Again, Council, I'm here to recommend approval to procure a document management system from Power DMS in the amount of $20,071.70. On August 28, 2017, the Fort Thorpe City Council adopted Resolution 201704, which supported the police department in the pursuit of state certification to the Georgia Association of Chiefs of Police. Preparing and implementing the state standard best practices and policies in law enforcement is a demanding process. The department has completed required training for certification managers and is ready to start the application process. The approval process requires the policies and procedures are well organized and in a format that can be easily reviewed by state certification assessors. The Power DMS system is a policy and compliance management platform that allows users to create, edit, organize, and distribute content from a secure cloud-based site. The system contains an organized list of the required standards and the ability to attach proofs of compliance with the GACP certification standards. This system also allows the ability to create, deliver, track, and record training online, as well as the capacity to attach videos to PowerPoint presentations to training courses. If this purchase is approved, the police department will implement the Power DMS system and begin state certification application process. This process can take up to 3 years. Power DMS is the sole source provider of this system. It's the only cloud-based software platform that combines document training, accreditation management, and electronically links the content to alert users when a change that may impact compliance comes up. If approved, this purchase in the amount of $20,071.70 will cover a 3-year contract term. Following the initial 3-year term, the cost will be $8,672.23 annually, beginning in 2025. I request approval.
Thank you, Chief Sewell. I have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Second. Rhonda James.
Give it to Rhonda.
Motion by Mr. Crawford, second by Mr. James. Any discussion?
So this is, the 20,000 is for 3 years, actually.
That is correct. By doing it in a 3-year term, we're saving the city $5,944.99 as opposed to the annual cost of $8,672.23.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank
Thank you, Chief.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 5, under new business. Proposed approval of a construction contract for the direct connection, Highway 41, and Pagan Circle sewer projects. Ms. Hune.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. A while back, you all approved the engineering contract for this project, which is a combination of several different areas: direct connection, Highway 41, and Pegram Circle. This is the bid for the contract for these services. The bids were received in September. 3 bids were received. Tally Construction submitted the lowest responsible bid in the amount of $2,106,815.16. It's expected that this project will take about 90 days to complete, exclusive of weather delays or unexpected circumstances. And this is just to help these areas that are in need of rehabilitation and to extend that Highway 41 line.
Thank you, Ms. Hune. I have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Second, Mr. Childs. First by Mr. Childs, second by Mr. Crawford. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. City Manager's report. Ms. Hughes.
Thank you. Early voting began last week. Early voting is taking place here in City Hall in Fort Oglethorpe. It began on the 12th and it will go through the 29th of October. The schedule for the whole month is on the city's website, but this week early voting at Fort Oglethorpe City Hall will be Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and also this Saturday, the 23rd, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And also, just a reminder that there are free COVID drive-through testing services available at the Colonnade. It's by appointment every Monday and Wednesday from 10 to 7 p.m. There's drive-through Pfizer COVID vaccines available at the Colonnade Thursdays 5 to 7 p.m. And also Moderna vaccines are free and available at the Catoosa County Health Department by appointment Monday through Friday 9 to 4. That's it for me.
Thank you, Ms. Hune. Next item on the agenda, mayor and council comments. Just one little reminder, I'm sure y'all noticed the last 2 mornings that winter time is about here. So be sure and get those heating units serviced and checked out, and make sure you change those batteries and those smoke alarms. Mr. Childs.
No comments, no comments today.
Thank you, Mr. Child. Mr. Crawford.
I just say go Braves, go Dogs.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford. Mr. Rogers.
I'd just like to say thank you to Chief Hammonds. Thank you for what you do, and I'm excited about the event. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Ms. James.
I don't have anything.
Thank you, Ms. James. Ms. Stinney.
Yes, sir. Well, it is October. The Halloween Spooktacular is October 30th at Honor Park, a tribute to those who serve. And we have more tables booked this year than last year. Last year we hosted 400 to 450 little spookables that came through to trick or treat, and this year we're hoping to have even more. So mark your calendars, Saturday, October 30th from 5 until 9 at Honor Park, a tribute to those who serve. And as Chief Heyman so elegantly presented, the vintage military aircraft flyover is by the Museum of Flight. And normally this one portion of this event is around $10,000. That's right, 10K to make this happen. It is being sponsored for the Veteran and Citizen Council. We are very, very blessed to have some pretty unique people who are involved in those events. So very blessed with that to happen. That will kick off the parade. As Chief Heyman said, the parade will proceed down Lafayette Road to Barnhart Circle, where we have numerous vendors already signed up. We have numerous live music acts already signed up, including the Beaters themselves will be there. And then we'll end the evening with some beautiful fireworks. Thank you to Fort O Tourism. So this is going to be an awesome event here in the city of Fort Oglethorpe, and we're hoping that you will be there. Bring your lawn chairs and come ready to have a great day. Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Ms. Stinnett. Next item on the agenda is executive session. I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss real estate.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Crawford, second by Mr. Childs. All in favor say aye.
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 This council is in executive session. I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
Make a motion.
Or second.
Okay.
Motion by Ms. James, second by Mr. Crawford. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are out of executive session. In executive session, we discussed real estate and personnel. Final item on the agenda is adjournment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Crawford, second by Mr. Childs. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.